Hello and welcome to Martyn Lucas Investor. My name is Sensei and you are welcomed into the morning forecast show, which will be going into the opening bell as well. So thank you everyone for tuning in. We do potentially have an XRP, well, it is actually an XRP breakout. I'll show you exactly what I mean by that and we'll go straight into that breakout, which could take us to all-time highs in September. It is very plausible that happens, but before we go into that, remember, nothing is financial advice. This is my thoughts and opinions only. Please do not buy or sell based off anything I say. That will be a very unwise decision. So if you look at this chart right now, this is why I'm saying there's a breakout, because a few days ago we did announce that there would be a breakout if we break this downwards sloping trend line. So you can see we had lower high, lower high, lower high, and then you had these lower lows, and then he finally came down to this level of support at $2.72, which you've sort of double bottomed depending on what time frame you look at. And what is breaking out is this trend line down here. Over here a few days ago we broke out of this downward sloping trend line, we hit the support, we had the double bottom, and since we've had 3 days of follow through towards the upside. And what we're looking at now is the last potential level of resistance around $3.02, which we are above $3 right now, getting above $3.03 and getting above this level of horizontal resistance, which you can see is very much a resistance we want to get through. Once that breakout occurs as well, we've got the downward sloping breakout, the horizontal resistance breakout, and very much you can start targeting $3.40. Then after that, you are looking at potentially all-time highs. So this could be the breakout that takes us to all-time highs. All I want to see now is a confirmation of staying above $3. What could accelerate this is CPI and PPI that will come out tomorrow, and also just the sentiment within the market. Plus there's a lot of IPOs coming out this week which we are covering. If you do look over here, there are coins now breaking out as well. GRT up 6%, Maker up 6%, Arweave up 4%, Ondo Finance up 4%, Polkadot up 3%, ADA up 2.5%. Bitcoin is recovered well as well. It came down into the support at $107,000 and since has been recovering. It's just not been performing as well as the altcoins. We will look at Bitcoin dominance in a second, but also it's worth looking at Ethereum as well, which is holding up quite nicely near its all-time highs. It's not at all-time highs, but it's holding up nicely above $4,000, $4,350, all-time highs of about $5,000, which we saw a few weeks ago, and that is the target again for Ethereum when it breaks out $4,400. So there is a lot of potential here in the altcoin market now. All it needs is one little catalyst, and I do expect the altcoin market to run. I do expect XRP to hit all-time highs potentially in September, or get very close, at least $3.40 in September, going into the ETFs in October, where I expect an altcoin season in October, November, December, and then potentially reaching those, if we look at XRP's chart, reaching those targets we have beyond all-time highs, which would be $4.40, $4.70, $5.30, $6.37, $7.41, $8.50, and then potentially $11, $13. So that $10 is very plausible even this year. We do have a few months left, and I do think that's when we will hit all-time highs and potentially go towards $10. If not, $8.50 would be one of my main targets of this cycle. I think that is still very plausible. Nothing really suggesting otherwise or changing my sentiment. I still have that 60% likelihood that we have a soft landing. CPI, PPI is all going to be good. Jobless claims is not going to be something too concerning, and we start getting these rate cuts that we are expecting. If I refresh this, we are now basically expecting 100% chance of a rate cut in next week with the FOMC meeting, and even about an 8% chance of a 50 basis point rate cut next week as well. But that will all depend on PPI tomorrow and CPI on Thursday to confirm that and give us that extra catalyst to make XRP break out to all-time highs, and I think that's what we're waiting for. HBAR as well is something that is on the brink of a breakout as well. If we look at HBAR USD, HBAR has just broken out of this downtrend. If you look at it, whichever way you want to look at it, you are looking at a breakout on HBAR. That could take it to 25 cents and then 31 cents and then potentially all-time highs around 40 cents. As XRP breaks out, HBAR will probably go with it as well. But we are witnessing right now a breakout on HBAR as well. A lot of these altcoins, if you just want to see when the breakout point is, you just connect these lower highs ever since the peak in July, and just connect these lower highs, whether it's the wicks or the bodies you're connecting, and then you can see is your altcoin breaking out. For example, if you look at something like ADA, you can see it broke out a few days ago, and ever since this breakout, you've had very nice daily candles which were up, each of them about 3.5%. So you can look at your favorite altcoins, and that's ADA. What else should we have a look at? We can have a look at Stellar, XLM. You can see this downtrend over here that's broken out. So a lot of these altcoins are breaking out today or in the last few days, or potentially in the next couple of days. You are seeing these breakouts, and XLM has also just broken out, so the target would be 41 cents and then back to around 50 cents from its highs in July as well. So a lot of breakout potential right now in the market. Ethereum itself is a little bit different because it went on the Ethereum season run, which we predicted. Bitcoin as well is now above 112,000. We are looking for that to gain some momentum as well. If we look at Bitcoin dominance, which shows what percentage of the market cap is in Bitcoin, which gives us an idea when altcoin seasons occur and how strong Bitcoin is. If you are watching live, please make sure you are hitting the like button. Please make sure you are subscribing, even if you're watching later on as well. So yeah, Bitcoin dominance is in a very strong downtrend now ever since we saw that peak at around 65%. There's not been any real strong recovery from Bitcoin dominance. Maybe we will have one more strong recovery from Bitcoin dominance, potentially up to 60% before we see that altcoin season, potentially in October. But it's very much now Bitcoin has lost its momentum. Yes, I do think it'll make new all-time highs. Yes, I think it'll go to maybe 150,000, potentially $200,000 this year, this cycle. But I don't think it's Bitcoin season anymore. I think it's time for the altcoins to start gaining momentum, and I reckon Bitcoin dominance has now started its downtrend. Whether we see a small uptick and we see Bitcoin outperform the altcoins for a couple of weeks or a few weeks, that's possible, but I don't think we're going to be putting in new highs for Bitcoin dominance. I think the Bitcoin dominance collapse has started, and that's good news for XRP holders and altcoin holders, because last time Bitcoin dominance collapsed, that was in 2021. It went from heights of 71% and the breakdown was at 60%, and it very much went down quite fast, and that caused that altcoin season where we saw 10x's, 50x's, 100x's, and we might be in the same sort of category now where Bitcoin dominance is the uptrend, and the bear market and the bull market for Bitcoin dominance is over. And we might start seeing this downtrend and this accelerated move towards the downside, which would allow that money from Bitcoin to flow into the altcoin market. So that's those main charts. If we look at some other charts, we are seeing gold go up. This is something we've been predicting for a couple years now. If you look at gold, that's broken out of its continuation pattern, heading up to $3,730. Why is that breaking out? Well, it's because a little bit because of geopolitical risk and a safe haven, but mainly because we're expecting interest rates to come down. That makes gold a more attractive investment because you're not getting more on a very safe investment such as bonds. If you're buying them, the rate on bonds are going down, so people look for alternative safe investments that tend to give better returns than 4.5% or 4%, which people are looking at gold, and it makes it a bit more a bit better, a bit more attractive to investors. So I would say gold will continue with this uptrend as well. The S&P 500 as well is continuing to make all-time highs. It was a new all-time high a couple of days ago. It was close yesterday, but today again, depending on what PPI and CPI do tomorrow, this could be the leg up for the S&P 500 to go up to levels such as 7,000 on the S&P 500. So it does look like this bull market doesn't want to end. It just wants one more catalyst catalysts, more rate cuts, PPI, CPI to be in line, jobless claims not to be too bad. So we get these rate cuts, but not emergency rate cuts. And I think we do have a few more months of bullishness left in the market, and then obviously there are major concerns with the economy longer term, and I think we might see that recession maybe in 2026 if inflation has another uptick, or if we see jobless claims accelerate in 2026, which is what analysts are starting to forecast. I sort of agree with that statement. I think in the next few months, nothing major is going to happen. Everything's going to look fine. And then in 2026, we might have that recession. But that's fine, because I do think the bull market is due to end before Q2 of 2026. In fact, I imagine it will be by the end of this year. We'll see peaks for most of the tokens, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and the major currencies out there. So I don't mind if we have a recession in 2026. I just hope we don't get it this year. Again, I give a 60% chance of a soft landing, and we'll see evidence of that this year. If it goes into a hard landing, I imagine that will be in 2026. Let me go over to your comments and welcome everyone into the show. We do have more charts and news to get into. Please do hit the like button. Please do subscribe. We've got quite a few news stories, all the way from Klarna's IPO to Tesla's market share coming down. We've got the Apple event today. We've got some Ripple partnerships. We've got vertical aerospace news today as well. So a lot to get through. But I would like to welcome everyone into the show. So drop a comment if you are live with us. Tell me where you are in the world. If it's your morning, your afternoon, your evening, let me know in the comments if you're watching as a video, or in the live chat if you're watching live with me right now. So Rallo1 was first here. Good morning, Sensei. Willie Dorwoods is here. Jose is saying good morning. Yolanda is here. Kathy is here. Eli B is here. Sensor, can you take a quick look at ASML? If we have a chance, I will. Oops, my link is deleted. I think Martyn explained no one can add links. Yeah, do drop it into Discord and we can have a look. Yolanda says, good morning, Martyn. Wishing you and Leah best day. Yes, I agree. I added the link to Discord. Thank you, Eli B. We'll have a look at that. XRP breakout, real or fake out? I think it's real. Dan, I think it's real. Good morning, good afternoon from the UK. Revved Up Biker, welcome in. Not breaking out yet, not from what I'm saying. Yeah, we broke out a few days ago. The last breakout would be just solidifying above $3. But again, that's my thoughts. Maybe you don't agree. Willie Derwins says, with the breaking news, at least it penetrated $3 resistance. Yes, Thorsten, I wanted to see it hold that $3 candle, $3 level by the end of the day. So we have that daily candle close above $3, and that'll be the final thing I'm looking for. And then I'm very much targeting $3.40 and then all-time highs for XRP, even in September, in the next few weeks, very possible. Hello Sensei, says Ole. Gamer Orange, hey Sensei, can you look at XLM? It seems to be mimicking XRP, so XLM should have a breakout. Also, yes, we just did have a look at it. I hope that helped. I looked at HBAR as well. Michael, afternoon from camp, Burrowing Army Camp in Kuwait. Thank you, Brian Springer, for your service and for calling and for being in the show. Anyone here to catch that Octo green candle yesterday? I didn't. Thank you, says Michael. XDC, let's have a quick look at XDC, says Brian. Let's have a quick look at XDC. I know a lot of XRP holders like this token as well. What's XDC doing? XDC, look, again, very simple. Downtrend, 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 lower highs, lower lows. Breakout. The last few days, you've seen a breakout of XDC. So yes, if PPI, CPI, which we'll be covering live on the show tomorrow and the day after, are all fine, a little bit lower than expected, would be amazing. That will be the final kickoff to see a quick recovery. And we can see 20-30% moves on something like XDC in a day or two. So this is a breakout on XDC as well. This downwards trend has been broken. Do you think Doge will follow XRP? Well, we'll do the same thing. Let's have a look at Doge's chart. I assume it was in a downtrend and now it's breaking out as well. yeah, Doge is ahead of the breakout. Look at this, downtrend, downtrend, downtrend. 2 days ago, you got the breakout, and now you're seeing the follow through yesterday and today. So yes, I think Dogecoin will also follow XRP, or maybe it'll pump first. But yes, Dogecoin also looks like it's breaking out. As long as PPI and CPI are good tomorrow, we can start seeing Doge really accelerate to 28 cents and 34 cents. I'll come on to the news in a second and back to XRP's chart, but I want to get through the comments. Let me just mute my microphone and I apologise, I'm not feeling the best. Anyway, hoping for 100x's. Revved up bike, very possible in a bull market altcoin season if you pick the right tokens. But again, will you pick the right tokens? Will we have a full bull market? Who knows? But yeah, we've seen 100x's. We've participated in 100x's before. If we do get that altcoin season, then yes, it can happen again. But I wouldn't hold my breath for it. Can you look at XDC? Yes, we just did. Yolanda, thank you. If you cover for Martyn, you need his banner with the live prices, says Thorsten. I can have the live prices on the show. I could do it, but actually I don't want to play around with that. Last time I did that, my whole setup broke. So shall I do it? There's no need. I don't have anywhere to put it. We do have the live prices, but just tell me what you want to have a look at. Anyone here in ASML? We'll come back to XRP in a second, but let me. Eli B wants me to have a look at this. ASML USD. No, it's not crypto, I assume. Just from this quick look, you do have sort of an inverse head and shoulders. You do look like $900 will be your next target. It's not looking bearish to me. So not looking bad. Martin Lucas Invest, I'm still holding after all this time. To touch my XRP now would just be a crime. Thanks, Sensei. 8 a.m. here in Canada. Yeah, everyone let me know where you're from and what time it is. 8 a.m. here in Canada. Starship, thank you for joining us on your morning. And Kentucky says Storm Front Chaser. Thank you for joining me from Kentucky. I am in Belgium, 2:30 almost. Time to go home. Time to go home? What do you mean time to go home? What time is the jobs report? It's in a few hours. It's not really a jobs report. It's a revision in jobs data. I believe we'll have another look, but I think that's the case. Let's have a quick look. I don't think there's any big jobs data today. Let me have a look. Oh yeah, non-farm. It's a payroll revision. We might get that at 2 o'clock. Yeah, we'll put a timer on it so we don't forget. We'll cover that. It's a revision, but it's as important as data, I assume. Oh, I guess because if the revisions are big, then it changes the data we've already reacted to. So let me put a timer on the screen. That's coming up in about. It's 2 o'clock. No, that's coming up. I'm in the wrong time zone. I think it's an hour and a half. Let me just quickly check. The jobs data is. Oh, let me just see. It's not. Yeah, it's at 3 o'clock. We might be live to cover it. We might not. If we're live, we'll cover it. If not, we'll do another show. So 3 p.m. my time, which is in an hour and a half. Yeah, we should be able to cover that. Let me put the timer on the screen. We'll come back to XRP in a second. I just want to change this. Why is that not working? There we go. So we want that's in an hour and 35 minutes. Okay, I'm just putting a timer on the screen so we don't forget about this data coming out. Okay, back to your comments and back to XRP. Hello from Kansas. Hello, William Myers of Bulgaria. Fast Laughs TV. Love it. Bulgaria. Never been. Would love to visit. Good morning from Netherlands. Never been. Would love to visit. Says Wijnand. live from Australia, 10:17 p.m. It's nearly bedtime and it's crazy. Some people are watching and it's their morning, and some people have already lived the day and it's their nighttime. Dit Git Y is from Australia. Welcome in. Good afternoon from Hertfordshire. Jim Ricketts, hello and welcome. Lunchtime in the UK. I ought to get up really. Richard, I love it. Good morning, Sensei. What do you believe is XRP's peak price by the end of the year based on your prediction? Mario, I am in the camp that I'm in a 60% chance that we're going to have a soft landing, nothing major happening, 25% chance inflation gets out of control and that will be a worry, and a 15% chance that the jobs market will collapse and we have a recession. So my thoughts are soft landing. So that means everything's fine. Inflation data is good. Jobs data is good. Rate cuts come when they should. No emergency rate cuts. And that will project for me the XRP. Again, I'm not one of these wild price prediction persons that makes up stuff and says random stuff like $589 is baked into XRP's price and it's trading at a separate price in the Fed's ledger, or XRP's going to $2,000 in a week. I'm giving my realistic price prediction. It's my price prediction. If you don't agree with it, you don't agree with it. You do your own price prediction. Some people will say I'm too bullish. Some people will say I'm too bearish. My price predictions are, it doesn't actually matter what my price predictions are because I'm laddering out at different points. Where do I think XRP will go? I think it's between $8 and $12 by the end of the year. But even if it doesn't reach $8, I am taking profits at $4.70, $5.30, $6.30, $7.41, and $8.51. You might say that's too early. You might say that's too late. We might not get there. In all honesty, we might get there. Again, I do believe we'll hit all of those targets. But yeah, I'm laddering out. Remember, I've been buying XRP and I've been holding it for years and years and years. I've been buying at 30 cents, 35 cents, 50 cents, last cycle's peak. On the way down in last cycle, I've been buying it for a while. So I am quite eager to make some money out of XRP, but not eager enough to sell at the levels we're at now. Even though I've averaged maybe a 5, 6, 7x, I do still want to see my portfolio double and double again. So I will be taking slight profits at $4.72, $5.30, $6.30, $7.41. By the time we reach $8.50, I would imagine that I've taken most of my profits. So maybe 70% of my portfolio by the time we hit $8.50 and we hit $8.50. I would say I would only have 30% of my bag left, and I'll be keeping it for $11, $13, $18, and $33 if we do have that moonshot. But my plan is to reaccumulate in the bear market and actually enjoy some of those profits that I've been waiting for a while. So that's my thoughts on XRP. Hello, Cleveland, Ohio. Let me know what your targets are in the chat as well. I'm going through all your comments, so do leave some comments in the chat. Hello from Cleveland, Ohio, David Hensley. Always great to have you here. Are you Dutch and not in ASMI? Oh, you're talking to someone else. Cleveland, Ohio, says Salmo Fudd. Pray for Leah, says Mike. Yes, Leah is in our prayers. Good afternoon from the UK, Howard. Thank you. Where are you in the UK, Howard? Cheers from the armpit of America, Indiana. Blue bus driver. I didn't know that's how you refer to Indiana. Bulgaria says, oh my God, it's Rosnan. Welcome in. Prayers for James 007, looking breakfast bar. James 007, looking breakfast bar. What's happened to James? Oh God, I'm dreading looking at this. What's going on? Let me, breakfast bar. Let's have a look at this. Something's going on. This is in the breakfast bar on Discord. This is one of our dear members, James 007. Let me see what this is about. I got someone to phone the fire brigade. Oh, wait. This was at 3 a.m. UK time. I called the fire brigade, woke everyone up and got them out of their houses before I started filming. No people or pets were injured. Oh, God. I had a crazy week. I saw a house fire. Then, unfortunately, my 7-year-old son got really ill on Friday, so we had to rush him to hospital on Saturday. He's still there now. He's caught impetigo and streptococcus A. He is really, really ill. As I have seen, he is on drip antibiotics and morphine. His skin looks like he's been in a fire. I can't believe how ill he is. I think we'll be in hospital for quite a few weeks. I'm not sure what will happen. I don't know how he got it. Then on the way to hospital yesterday, I saw a big dog get run over and squashed on a bypass. And it's my birthday today. Oh my God. That is crazy. James 007, I imagine you're not watching the show, but all our thoughts and prayers go out to you. You've had an awful week. We're praying for your son. If everyone can just take a moment today to pray for James 007's son. It sounds really serious, and he's a dear member of the channel. He's had an awful week as well. So let's just pray that everything goes up from here, and everything's going to be okay with his son. James, I'm so sorry to hear that. It sounds awful. But we are here for as a family, and we're here to support you. So if there's anything us Lucasades can do, James, we will help in any way we can. But our thoughts and prayers are with you, James. If everyone can just leave their thoughts and prayers for James in the live chat and in their prayers, that would be amazing. Thank you, Mike, for letting us have a look at that. Awful news. Morning from London. Wishing Leah lots of love today. Yes. Where is it? Good afternoon from Kenya. When is a rate cut decision? That is next week. FOMC is next week. The exact date of the next decision is on the 17th of September. But it will be based on PPI and CPI we get the next couple of days. So yes, next week is the Fed decision on interest rate cuts. We are fairly certain that there will be cuts. Just depends on how much based on the reports we get. Remember, do stay with us in the show. We're coming up with more news. The XRP chart breakout. We might get it live on the show. We're covering the opening bell, which can give us a little bit more fuel to the fire. We'll also be going to push XRP up. We'll also be looking at Tesla's EV market share, the Apple event today with the new iPhones, and the trend that happens every time there is an Apple event. So I'll tell you about that and what happens with Apple's share price every time they have these iPhone events. We've got some more news about vertical aerospace, and then the big IPO tomorrow with Klarna and then Gemini. So you don't want to miss any of that. We'll go through the comments and come on to all of that in a second. I'm a cab driver, says Nad. My brother, where is gold targets and silver prices, please? We have covered gold and silver prices. We'll have a quick look at it now, Jerry. Again, it's not financial advice, it's just the targets I'm seeking on gold and silver. Gold would be about $3,730 in the short term, and then $4,246 an ounce in the longer term. Silver is $44, $49, and then about $72 for silver. Those are my targets. Short term, long term for gold and silver. Yes, we do have a $1,000 XRP giveaway running right now. If you haven't participated yet, it's 6 days left. Is it 6 days or is it less? Let me just refresh. 6 days until someone in the chat or who's signed up to this giveaway wins $1,000 worth of XRP. It's free to enter, free for all. It's not fake, it's real. We're verified on YouTube, all that sort of stuff. If you look over here, click that link, it'll take you to this page over here. Remember, you just have to scroll down to around here and it'll say login. You just log in with your email. You've got 6 days left to enter. All you have to do is collect your daily bonuses. Each of these tickets gives you a chance to win. You can do 1, you can do 500, you can do all of them. And you just have to read it and do it. If you already reposted Martyn, you just collect your tickets. If you already follow Martyn, you just collect your tickets. If you already subscribe to my newsletter, you just collect your tickets. If you haven't, then all you have to do is click on it, type your email in, and then that's 150 tickets. It takes 5 seconds to get 150 tickets, or 1 second. It depends how quickly you can type your email. You've got all of these ways of entering, and you get $1,000 worth of XRP given to you live on the show. You can decide whether you keep it, sell it, burn it, whatever you want to do with it, you can do if you win this giveaway. So go and check that out. The link is in the chat. Thank you, David Hensley, for all the links. Hoping for 100x on Epic. Good luck to you, Revved Up Biker. Perth, Western Australia, 8:21 p.m. Best stocks, D-Wave Quantum Computing. Make sure everyone hits the like button if you have tuned in. How many people do we have watching? Let's see how many likes we've got. We've got 5, is that right? 511 people watching? That's quite a big show, isn't it? 511 people watching and only 123 likes. That's not good enough. There should be at least 250 likes. Please do hit the like button. We've got a lot of news to get through. I just want to make sure I'm replying to everyone's comments. That's what's special about this channel. We reply to everyone's comments. I'm just going to reply to members' comments now. Do you boo 100? I'm a low cap degen lol. We loved it. Revved up biker. Time to go home from work, sensei. Says Eli B. We love it. It's an early. Maybe you work earlier. I don't know, but it seems a bit early to be going home from work. Eli B. Are you leaving early? Let's go. Market is pumping. Yes. Let's just go back and keep an eye on XRP because this is the show. Is the XRP breakout, and I am expecting XRP to hit all-time highs today. Let me just make sure I've got the right chat open. Yep. Yeah, we're keeping an eye on XRP. Let me make sure that's turned off, and we've got this turned off. Okay. Hi from Melbourne, Australia. I'm XRP all the way. Hoddle, says AC. Thank you for joining us from Australia. Here from Canada, says Stephen Wartan. Welcome in. Matthew says, good afternoon from sunny York. 122 here. It's 122, 125 here. York. I've been to York. I proposed in York. I think it was York. Yes, it was York. That's where I got engaged a few years ago. Good thoughts to Martyn and his wife today. Yes, Oli, thank you. Portugal is about 123. Interesting. Same. Can't be 123 in Portugal. It's the same time as here. You must not know your time. Is it one? It can't be the same time. Portugal time. Oh, it's the same time zone. There is no time difference with Portugal and the UK. I did not know that. Interesting. New York is 8:23 a.m. I love how we have got such an international audience. Some people are waking up, some people are sleeping, some people are having lunch. Grand Rising in Jamaica, 10:22. Look at this. Aisha Martyn is from Melbourne, Australia. It's 10:22 p.m. We love it. Thank you for tuning in. Good morning, Sensei. Please, can you check Litecoin? Yes, so let's have a look at Litecoin. LTC, USD. Litecoin is just like, I don't think it's going to make, was it going to make all-time highs? I don't think so. Did it make all-time highs last cycle? Oh, well, it did actually. Maybe we get slightly high all-time highs this cycle. Maybe we go to $500 this cycle. But you're not expecting anything big from Litecoin, in my opinion. It is looking fine. It's like it's going to be one of those slower movers, but when it moves, it will move fast. Yeah, it's looking good. Bear market's just been putting in higher lows, and higher highs. So it looks fine, but again, if you were holding Litecoin instead of Bitcoin, you would have been in big trouble in the bear market, and even still now. If you look at how much money you would have lost in Bitcoin terms, it's not just about USD terms. Look at this. So you've seen this chart here, which is Litecoin. You see its bear market is just slightly heading up. It doesn't look too bad. But if you look at Litecoin BTC, that's a completely different chart. It's just down. So it's very much, you're losing money in terms of Bitcoin value, which sometimes is the best way to have a look at your portfolio, see how much Bitcoin value you have. Maybe you're going up in USD value, or you're not losing that much in USD value. But then when you factor in how much less Bitcoin you have now because you didn't buy Bitcoin and you bought altcoins instead, then it paints a different picture. And that's sort of the picture you're seeing with Litecoin. I don't know when it will bottom out against Bitcoin. It seems a bit more sensible now than a year ago to be buying a Litecoin in terms of altcoin seasons. But again, yeah, I mean, it's just worth noting that. I don't think that's too big of a concern now. I think maybe a Bitcoin will outperform it for another couple of months, but we're so close to altcoin season. If we are going to get an altcoin season, that I think it's not a terrible time to be loading up on some Litecoin either, or holding it instead of putting it into Bitcoin at this point in the cycle. Again, not financial advice. Good morning, Sensei. Please, can you check Litecoin? I can't wait to have my own business, says Yestin. We would love that, Yestin. We would support you all the way. What are you thinking? What would your own business be? Let me know. Any concerns on moving crypto from hard wallets to exchanges? No, just always send a test transaction and make sure it's goes through okay. Never send large chunks at a time. It doesn't really make a difference. Just do it in small batches. Sometimes exchanges might block you or whatever reason, so you don't want to send it all at once, and you don't want to send it all at once to begin with, in case you've got the wrong network or the wrong wallet address. Jerry and Alba in the chat. God bless Martyn Leo. You're in our prayers. Good morning, Sensei and the Lucas family. Jerry and Alba, welcome into the show. Good morning, Sensei. I stayed tuned despite 85% of my portfolio being pulled out due to financial needs in the last 4 months. Wish the best to everyone. Thank you, Ryan Hare, for staying with us.
$4.99 through a super chat. Where do you think HBAR and XLM will go at TH peak?
TJ, let's have a look at both of them. Let's have a look. So, again, what I'm basing this off is that 60% likelihood scenario, in my opinion, which is inflation's fine, jobs fine, we get the rate cuts, there's no recession, nothing major, and we just carry on with the bull market, which is, I give a 60% chance to it happening. So that is my base case. This is what I'm thinking. Not best case, my base case is that we do hit these prices. For XLM, again, it might change when we are in that altcoin season, depending on how quickly we've already run and where we are. But essentially, it wouldn't change that much, because once I have a target in mind, I sort of stick to my targets. Your question was on HBAR and XLM at the peak. So I do think XLM will make new all-time highs because it will go in line with XRP. So my first main target for XLM would potentially be just below $1. Beyond that, I would have to look at a Fibonacci retracement from here to here. $1.50 again would be another sort of major target, would be $1.50, and then potentially $2.40 as well. So where do I think it will peak? Depending where XRP goes, it will follow suit. So if XRP goes to $10, then I think XLM can go to $2.40. If XRP goes to $8, then I think XLM can go to about $1.50. Yeah, so what was the other one? HBAR, USD. HBAR, again, I think will make new all-time highs. I would say just below $1 would be the first target, and the next target would be just around $1.50 for the peak of this cycle. So but maybe 90 cents or just below $1, and then just below $1.50, $1.43. I think it will be the peaks for HBAR. I hope that helps. Again, if we get that bull market we're expecting. $10,000 for XRP, believe it and make it happen. No, not happening. Pray for Leah now. James 007 looking breakfast bar. Yes, we had a look. Thank you. Yeah, please leave some love for James 007. I'm just going to look at members' comments for a second so we can catch up. Ohio here says, I keep it a buck. XRP John T says, afternoon from Hungary, hope everyone is good. Thank you for tuning in. Can we look at XCN, says Jose. I think we just looked at XCN, didn't we? Oh no, we looked at XCC, XCN USD. Let's have a quick look. Altcoin, let's have a look. Oh wow, yeah, it's not performing too well, is it? It will have its time, I believe. I mean, again, it's a downtrend until the trend ends. And how do we know the trend ends? Well, you just draw what we've been drawing on certain coins that have already had a breakout. And it's very much a downtrend, lower highs, lower lows. But once this trend line breaks, the momentum will shift, and I think we'll get that upside. It could be as early as today or tomorrow. If PPI is not good, then and CPI is not good, then it can continue to trend down. So I'll just keep an eye on this trend line. Again, it's a very small market cap token. You don't really buy it as a major part of your portfolio. You just buy it if you like the premise of it, and if it goes a significant amount lower, you buy more. So I'll buy more if it goes down to 0.008 and then 0.005 and 0.003. I won't buy on every 5% drop because it's a very small market cap token. But I'll just be tracking this downtrend. It does look like it wants to break out, and if the rest of the market is breaking out, then I'm sure Altcoin will break out as well. So a break of this trend line will be 10 cents next, and then again, targets for this cycle would be around pretty much potentially maybe all-time highs around 10 cents for XCN. Big day today in 1.8 minutes. 1.8 minutes, what do you mean by that? Songs for space. I'm up 4x, not selling any under $10. Thanks for your thoughts. I just lost where we were in the comments. It says 8:30 jobless claims. Have we just missed jobless claims? I don't think there's any jobless claims at 8:30. Jobless claims at 8:30? I don't believe so. Let's have a look at the markets. US 500. Jobless claims. Does anyone know if there's jobless claims? Let me just look at the market. The market would have reacted if there was anything. No, the market didn't react as if there was any data. I don't think there was any data. 8:30 jobless claims. No. There's non-farm payroll benchmark revision, which is quite important. That's in an hour and 13 minutes. Why are you taking profits now if you believe XRP will get to $100 eventually? Just curious. Well, Donald, I think it's going to go to $100 in time. I'm not as confident of that as I am that we'll hit $10 a cycle, but I do very much think we'll hit $100 eventually. But that would be in 5 years' time. I think my strategy is to hopefully get close to laddering out towards the peak of the cycle. I'm not trying to time the exact top of the cycle, but I want to ladder out so I sort of average out close to the peak of the cycle, and then I think the market's going to drop 80, 70, 90% in the bear market. And I think if XRP peaks at $10, it's going to drop to $2 and probably go sideways for 3 years. So I don't really fancy holding on to XRP for 3 years, lose 80% of the value of my portfolio, and then wait 3 years for it to go back to those levels, or 4 years. I want to take the profits. I want to reinvest them in the stock market. I want to buy XRP when it drops 50, 60, 70% and basically own the same amount of XRP, or maybe a bit more for the next cycle, while also having many more assets in my portfolio. That's why.
Ole Gunderson donated 50 Norwegian kroner through a super chat. I use a cold wallet. Do you have any thoughts about swapping XRP to USDC instead of taking profits, then to reinvest in crypto later at a lower price?
No, that seems completely fine as long as you're using a cold wallet and you're confident in how to use it, and it's safe and all that sort of stuff. It's certainly not a bad idea. You don't have to faff around with taking it out, and so many banks have issues with you moving crypto around. I mean, if you keep it in your ledger, put it into USDC, potentially earn on it, but again, you don't have to earn on it. You can do, it's just you might be holding on to USDC for maybe your money's not being put to work. Potentially, that's the only drawback, but I don't see any major issue with it at all. It's not a terrible strategy. It's whatever suits what you want to do, but yeah, it's not. I don't have any thoughts really about why that's worse or better. There's reasons why it's worse. Your money's not being put to work. There's reasons why it's better. You don't have to faff around with moving it out. You have it there ready to go in, and it's in a safe wallet. So whatever means more to you. Afternoon, everyone, says daily bite-sized facts. Prayers, James. Pray things get better. Yes, thank you, Mando. Sensei, so it wouldn't be crazy if XRP was to 10x this altcoin season, would it? So potentially $30 X. It would be very crazy for another 10x for XRP. Yeah, it would be $30. Is it possible? Yes, but it would be crazy. I wouldn't say it wouldn't be crazy. I would say it would be crazy and very, very unexpected, and something major would have to happen for XRP to hit $30 a cycle. Praying for your son, James 007. Thank you, Yolanda. For James and his boy. Yes, prayers to you all. Thank you, Robbie C. James, I'm so sorry to hear. We are here to support you. Love and prayers to your son. Hope he feels better soon. Yes, we are all thinking about James and his son. Canton, Ohio here, home of the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Not soccer, I love it. Don't call it soccer yet. Wait. Oh, you're calling... Oh, American football. Home to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Oh, right. American football. Okay, I understand. Sending positive vibes for James 007. Thank you, Guy. It says 8:30 jobless claims. I don't see that. James and family. South Africa, says Gareth. Welcome in. Thoughts and good wishes, James. Morning, people, says Six Boys Customs. XRP John T is sending love to James. Jerry says, I bought a toaster last week and it broke and had to take it back. On the way back, it's take it back. I found 20 quid. Jerry, brilliant. What are you going to do with the 20 quid? Buy a better toaster. Excited for the giveaway event. Yes, it's very soon now. So yeah, XRP giveaway event. Here is the link. 6 days left. Free to enter, free for all. All you have to do is spend 5 seconds getting tickets. And it's free.
Fossa donated €2.49 through a super chat. Rate cut is now 80% priced in. Do you agree?
Vocal Foster, I don't agree with that. Rate cut is 100% priced in. At this moment that we're speaking right now, before PPI and CPI, a rate cut is 100% priced into the market. Yes, but the questions arise. Is it a 50 basis point rate cut that we're going to get? The market says probably not, but that's slightly priced in. Are we going to get bad PPI and CPI, which takes away that 50 basis point chance and potentially takes away a chance of a rate cut in general? Potentially. So a rate cut is 100% priced in. 50 basis point rate cut is slightly priced in. PPI and CPI are expected to be fine. That's why it's priced in like that. So yeah, 100% a rate cut is priced in for next week. But that doesn't mean things can't change and we can't go higher in the market or lower. Double H here this morning. If it hits $10, I'll donate 10k to your charity, I swear. Wow. Loco Videography. Everyone remember this. Loco Videography said he'll donate 10k to charity if we hit $10. That would be great, Loco. That would be absolutely incredible. Hopefully we do. Not only so you can donate to charity, but it will really signify that XRP is one of those top tokens, and everyone can stop producing fake news, and the Bitcoin maxis can we can give them something to chew on. Anyway, so Local Videography, it's not actually my charity, it's a charity partner in Uganda. So that would be absolutely amazing. Would love for that to happen. We should do like a whole event if that occurs and make you call in and do some fun things around that. Where do I find out how many entries I have? Well, when you log in, it will tell you at the top. When you log in, it will tell you how many entries you have. It will say your entries. Please hit the like button, says Yolanda. 1 hour till I finish work, says Yestin. We love it, Yestin. You said you switched jobs? Or you got a new job? Same place, different job? I came home from work in December, says XRP John T. I came home from work in December. Oh, have you retired? Sick Boy Customs. What do you think the price prediction for XRP will be this month? It could be all-time highs for XRP this month. My prediction is about $3.40, but very much not afraid to say that XRP could hit all-time highs this month. Sensei, do you like Coke? Seems to be in a steady decline at the moment. Right, okay, Adam Preston. You worried me with the first half of that sentence. Just to clarify, I don't mind the company, but I certainly wouldn't touch the other thing. Anyway, that caught me off guard. So Coca-Cola company, yeah, I do like it. I wouldn't do what Martyn's done and go all in and put a large amount of my portfolio into it, but that's just me and different strategies. But yeah, I like it. I think it's got good dividends. I think it will continue to grow. I mean, you just look at the chart, you zoom out. I mean, is there anything to suggest it won't continue doing this uptrend? Not really. But yeah, you're not going to be expecting... Wait, am I looking at the wrong... Coke... KO, sorry, what am I looking at? It's sort of the same thing, but yeah, the trend is very much the same. Where we're looking at Coca-Cola, ticker symbol KO. The market cap is 290 billion. So you're not going to expect anything massive, but you can expect nice gains on a yearly basis, I guess, with Coca-Cola. But again, not a massive part of my portfolio. It's been in a steady incline for a while, yeah. Nothing to suggest it won't continue, but yeah, it doesn't excite me too much. It's been a long journey, says McCafe. You're expecting all-time highs. I'm expecting $3.40, potentially all-time highs in September. All-time highs today? No, not all-time highs today, not at all. This is AI hallucinating about data releases, telling me wrong information. Songs for Space. Yes, AI, you can't really trust it. It hallucinates all the time. It really annoys me. Some people go, well, everyone's noticed now, but some people say, your newsletter, are you sure you're not just using AI? And I'm just saying, try and make a newsletter using AI. The amount of wrong information you'll get, the amount of hallucinations you'll get, the amount of wrong data you'll get, the amount of... you just won't be able to produce what I produce on the newsletter with AI. Do I use AI? Yes, I do, to help me write it, to help me check the spelling, grammar, to make me put it in a better situation. But it still takes 4 hours to make my newsletter every single day with the help of AI. But you can't just make AI... You can't just trust AI, even with a simple question like you've just asked there, Songs for Space. Jobs data. You would think that's a very simple task that it should get right. And it didn't get it right. It was hallucinating. Imagine trying to get it to do full news stories and full data releases and deep dives, which is much more complicated. It would fail and you'd look like an idiot. So there we go. This is not like all those stupid AI stuff people do. Yes, I use AI, but as a tool, not as the way to do it. And it still takes 4 hours every day. If you are wondering what I'm talking about the newsletter we put out every single morning. We give you all the data you need to know, the top stories at a glance. So even if you can't read the whole newsletter, well, at least you can know exactly what's going on in the market. You get the market snapshot, what's going on in the market, the money move, the top 5 stories every single day. You get the deep dive story. Today is all on Klarna and the IPO and everything you need to know about that. IPO coming up tomorrow. You've got the economic calendar here as well and the chart of the day. If you do want to sign up, there is a free plan. There is a 1-week free trial for the annual plan. Go and check it out. Here is the link to the newsletter. Back to your comments and then we'll come back to XRP on open. The data's coming out in about an hour's time as well, and the market opens in about half an hour's time. We'll come back to the charts in a second. I'm just going to reply to members' questions for now. God bless you, James. Your son is in our prayers. We're praying that for his healing and good health. We bring this prayer in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen, says Jerry and Elba. Thank you very much for that. Yep. Portugal, same time, hours later than Netherlands. Hour later. Okay, thank you all. Smoke BBQ. Sao Paulo, it's 9:39. It's a bit earlier. It's a bit later in the day there. We love it. Oklahoma, 7:36. Wow, that's too early to be waking up. Good morning. Where have we gone? Good morning from Florida, says Mando. Welcome into the show.
Thomas Morrow donated £5 through a super chat. What do you think the peak will be for Flare this cycle?
Flare. Well, it's a bit harder because it's a much lower market cap token, so we have to see at the time, but I'll give you my thoughts. Here's the Senator XRP is not a security mug with the official XRP logo we pay for. You can get it on martynlucasshop.com. I don't think there's many of them left either. Let me give you the link for the shop. Actually, that was the link for the 100k collection, which is sold out. So let me give you the link for the shop. There it is. You asked about Flare. I love Flare. I think Flare will perform pretty well. But we'll be at the tail end of the cycle. So we have to see where everything else peaks and then see where the tail end can take us. But I think Flare, in all honesty, where can it go in this cycle? Again, if we get that bull market, we're assuming $8 to $12 on XRP, all of that sort of stuff. I think Flare will go to all-time highs and potentially closer to 20, 50, potentially even $1 this cycle. I mean, I won't be selling everything. I mean, if it gets to $1, then I might sell everything. But maybe my main targets are 5 cents, 15 cents. And then after that, I don't really know, maybe 50 cents and $1. Yeah, so it'll be like 15 cents, 24 cents, 37 cents, 52 cents, 60 cents. And then I'll hold a bit for $1. Or just below $1. So I am very bullish on Flare. But yeah, 15 cents is the main target, then about 25 cents as my secondary target, and then I'll just be holding a moon bag as well for flare. I won't be selling anything really below, I don't imagine I'll sell anything below 10 cents. Good morning from Florida. What about INSP? Yeah, if you do want chart requests, you can do a super chat and we'll have a look at it. Or if you want any questions answered, you can also do a super chat. Thank you very much, Thomas Morrow, for your super chat. Go to Panda Miami in York. It's awesome. Panda Miami. Panda Miami in York? What's Panda Miami in York? No, I went to like the Yorkshire, somewhere near the Yorkshire Dales is where I went. That's where I proposed. Panda Miami. Panda Miami Nottingham. No, York. Let me type it in. What's this all about? Oh, is it a buffet? Buy one, get one free buffet. 180 wild dishes, unlimited courses, live cooking stations. That sounds like a bit of me. I love it. Well, if I ever go to York, I'll go there, Jerry. You said you expected XRP all-time highs today. No, did I? Well, I definitely didn't mean that. Did I say that? Oops. I didn't mean to say that. I meant this month. Morning, California here, 5:37 a.m. Wow, California is very early. Thank you for tuning in. Good morning from Fort Lauderdale. Since I'm a new member, do I have to buy the Discord? Yeah, Discord is a separate service, Joshua. That is correct. Lisbon is on the Medellin line, the same as London. Oh, thank you, DJ Haynes. Don't be lazy, hit the like button. Yes, why is everyone being lazy? Hit the like button, subscribe. Remember, we've got so much planned this week. We've got so many IPOs that we're covering live as they happen. We've got so much data, CPI and PPI this week to cover. We've got the FOMC meeting next week. So make sure when you press the subscribe button, you can go and check now that you've put that notification bell on as well, so you get notified when we have events. Justin George, since they did not say all-time highs were going to be today. I didn't think so, David Hensley, but thanks. XRP pumping today, $3.30. I think we just need to get a clean break of $3, and then we are... I don't think we'll get $3.30 today, but then I think we can get $3.30 in the next few days or week or so. But yeah, XRP is holding $3 now, yeah. It's coming back again. We got that little pump, dump, and now it's continuing. But yeah, it's holding $3 quite well. Litecoin has been funding XRP heavy these past few weeks. Bit unprofessional. Yeah, it's just... It's whoever controls their accounts, isn't it? They can do what they like. We're used to it. I'm just lost where we are. Sometimes the chat just scrolls all the way to the bottom. Oh, here we go. Whiskey, gold, and silver, says Yestin. That's his investments. We love it. Real commodities. Fighting for $3 and you guys think $10 within the next few months. Okay, Crypto Crusader. Sorry, you know everything, don't you? I'm sure you are. Should we go to his channel? Let's see what Crypto Crusader does. Well, nothing on his channel. How about Crypto Crusader? You start your channel and you tell us how right you are with your predictions. I'm sure you predicted the November run from 30 cents to $3 like we did on this channel. I bet you would have said that's impossible back then as well. XRP is a monster. In only 3 months, it cannot. In only 3 months, it cannot rise to $3 and $10. Well, again, good luck to you, and I appreciate your thoughts, but you can't say something can't happen. That's a very dangerous thing to say something can't happen because you'll be left behind. I've been loading up on REITs, real estate investment stocks, investment companies. Songs for Space, good luck to you, but remember it's very hard to, sometimes, again, not financial advice, it's hard to get your money out of them. They might close trading down until they sell them or buy houses, and then you might have issues. And remember, they pay themselves a lot and all that sort of stuff, and I'm sure you've done your research. ADA, Yeah, we do like ADA. Stronghold is on the Stellar network. Ripple funding and recently started working with dispensaries on payments. IBM partnership as well. Thank you for that bit of information. Your thoughts on Flare? I love Flare, Yolanda. What do you think about Flare? I love Flare, Phil. How do you know that skill? How do you know that skills and solutions? You have to give us a why it can't go up that high. Or you're just going to say that exactly, David Hensley. Thank you. If HBAR gets 10% of Swift, what would the price be? Like $20, $30, something crazy. Can we check ADA? If you want to become a member, we can check what you like. Here's the membership link for you. I don't see it dropping 70% at all. That's fine. It might not drop 70. I mean, it dropped 50% a few months ago. If it goes into a euphoric run, I mean, even the best companies in the world, Amazon and Apple, they've had 95% corrections previously, and 50% corrections in bear market, 60%, and they had a lot higher market cap. So I think we will get a very significant correction. I think 70% is very likely, in fact. But again, I might not be right. You might not be right. Who knows? HMRC makes taking profits a battlefield, says Matthew. Our Ground Foundation coming to America. Sensei, may you do a review on ADA? If you want to become a member or do a super chat, yes, we can. Don't forget about paying taxes, people. That's a huge chunk of your profit if you start selling. XRP will not hit $4 this year. America will go into recession. Ripple will have more competition than you think. We've got a few haters in the chat. We've attracted the Bitcoin maximalists somehow in today's show. Sensei asked Martyn about this. What do you think Trump initiative to have Bitcoin and XRP be tax free? How does that change your buy and hold strategy? Doesn't really change too much for me, because I will take profits no matter what the tax implications are. If I feel like it's the right time to take profits, I'll take profits and pay my taxes. But essentially, if Trump takes away capital gains taxes on crypto, then you can trade as much as you like, and you don't have to be holding it long term. And I don't know, maybe it'll attract a lot of people early on, and doesn't really change. If you're asking how does that change my strategy, I'm not even in the US, but if I was, it wouldn't change my strategy. Rate cut is now 80% priced in. Yeah, it's 100% priced in. And $20 for XRP this cycle, especially with ETFs. I don't agree with that. Good morning, everyone, says Jenny. Welcome in, Jenny. Our Ground Foundation coming to America. Good morning, Sensei. Kimberly McGrath. Welcome in, Kimberly. Kimberly, I'm going to send you a message later today because
Seth Houston donated $1.99 through a super chat. Quick look at Doge. Realistic price predictions?
we'll have a look at Doge. Thank you, Seth Houston. Kimberly, I'm going to send you a message later today because we're going to finally get those auction pieces sent off to everyone who's won. But because you're not going to have that piece in time for the event that comes with that special QR code, I'm going to send you the link where the QR code takes you. There is an event tomorrow for everyone who got the 100k merch. So just keep an eye out for that, and hopefully you can join us tomorrow. Do your projections of XRP include or exclude manipulation? Include. I place contracts on both 25 basis points and over 25 basis points. Odds are climbing. They're a bit volatile. I don't think we'll get a 50 basis point cut, but we'll see after PPI and CPI tomorrow. I still don't see how rate cuts are priced as we speak when almost every altcoin is still... the issue from your thinking is, unfortunately, is something that most people or crypto Twitter likes to teach people. Rate cuts doesn't equal moon. Rate cuts doesn't equal bull market. Rate cuts, emergency rate cuts doesn't equal moon. That's not how it works. It's all about the economy and what the rate cuts do. So it's not one equals the other. Just to let you know. So it doesn't really have a massive effect. It's the data behind the scenes that has the effect on the price. Stop spamming, please. Thank you, Mike. Sensei, why do you think $100 is possible only in 5 years? because it'll take a long time and a lot more work from Ripple and everyone using XRP to make XRP's price go that high. I mean, $100 XRP would be the market cap of $100 XRP would be it would be a mass. It would be like 3 times the market cap of the whole crypto market today. So it can't just happen overnight. It'll happen in the next. It'll be back in the next. I've just seen a message from Martyn. It'll be back in the next. What's it called? You need that sentiment. You need that bull market to push it to these new heights, and I think that will be next cycle, which happens in the next 4 years from now. Will be in the next cycle potentially. Thoughts on SoundHound? We do like SoundHound. Development Alert is here. Welcome in, Zach, our charity partner. I need to sneeze. I don't know if I did. Excuse me. Good morning, Zach, says Yolanda. What do you think the peak will be for Flare the Cycle? I think we answered that one. Same place, different job side of greenkeeping. Yes, Din. Oh, brilliant. Yeah, that is what I thought. Let's just keep an eye on XRP's price right now. Holding $3. We just want to see it at market open, which is in 20 minutes. So stay with us until market open. How is XRP's price going to react? It is trimming off in the last 4-hour candle. We just want to, as long as it holds. Remember, we've had a breakout on XRP. That's confirmed. Some of you might say, well, where's the breakout? The breakout's occurred. You might have been asleep. You might have missed it. The breakout has occurred. And what do I mean the breakout's occurred is over here. You can see this trend line over here. However you look at it, the breakout happened about 3 days ago. Lower highs, lower highs, lower highs. And then you see this area right here. That was the breakout. That was a downtrend over. Next target, $3 and get back above it. So breakout has occurred. The next confluence to see that this bull market this breakout has a bit more steam in it and legs in it and it wants to continue is holding $3. So we want to hold $3. Once $3 holds, I do expect to see $3.40 in September and potentially all-time highs. My thoughts haven't changed. Look at what I said in July. I said end of July we're going to get that move towards the downside. What do we have at the end of July? That move towards the downside. Then I said August is going to be sideways, going from the bottom of potentially $2.62 or $2.72 to the highs, even with the SEC case, up to $3.40. Both of them occurred. And then I said September.
Become a member.
Thank you, Punky Monkey. Punky Monkey, I love the name. Anyway, I said all of this in July. I wasn't saying this at the time. I said everything I'm saying now, I said it back in July. I said at the end of July, we're going to get a breakdown to $3. Then I said in September, in August, we're going to range between the lows of $2.62 and the highs of $3.40. Go and check out what I've been saying for the last month. That occurred. I said the SEC case is going to come to an end. We're going to pump, but we're not going to make new all-time highs. We're probably just going to go to $3.40. That was the pump of the heights. Then I said we're going to go to $3.40, and I said be prepared. Over the next few weeks, we're going to go down, 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 down. Why? Because I explained to you what happened with the last SEC case with XRP not being deemed a security and how good that news was, and then how we came into lower lows a couple of weeks later. So that all occurred. And then I said in September, and remember, this is everything I said in July. I said September is going to be a month where we might be down in the first couple of weeks and get all-time highs on XRP, if not all-time highs, getting close to those $3.40 level and higher. Why? Well, because the XRP ETF, in my opinion, is coming out in October. So again, everything I've said has been right so far. Again, that's not for me to say I'm going to continue to be right, but so far, 2 out of 3 months are right. Are we going to get September right as well? We'll see. Let's go back to your comments. And we've got a poll running right now. Will $10 hit this year? 72% of you think it will. Good afternoon, Yolanda. 6 to 2:30 shifts at the moment, says yes then. Brilliant. Well, at least it gives you time in the afternoon and evening. You wake up early, which is good because you probably wouldn't be utilising that time anyway. No, I don't know. Maybe you would have. Maybe I'm assuming too much, Yeston. But 2:30, I think that's a good shift because it gives you all that time as well in the evening and afternoon. Even the markets are still open. Good morning all, says KC. What are your thoughts on Walmart? I don't have too many thoughts on Walmart at the moment. Where was I? Not too many thoughts on Walmart. We'll have a quick look at Walmart. Quick look at Walmart. Oh, Walmart. Yeah, we looked at this. We were quite excited around $96 on that drop. Yeah, no, don't have any major thoughts. I mean, it's held $96. It's not too attractive to me to buy, really. I'm sure it'll continue on the uptrend, but again, these bigger companies, these Apples, Microsofts, Nvidias, or Walmarts, or Coca-Colas, maybe not as much Nvidia, but most of these major companies which have already had the biggest gains they're ever going to have in their lifetimes already, I don't really get too excited by them until they have big corrections, whether that's a recession, COVID drop, bad earnings. When they have those 20%, 30% corrections like Meta did once upon a time a few years ago, these big companies, they only excite me when they have these massive drops. And I'm not talking about that drop there. I'm talking about this drop here. We covered it live on the show in 2023 when Meta dropped essentially 77%. And this was the final drop that really excited me on Meta. It was bad earnings. We covered it live on the show, and it went from $124 down to about $88. That was, to me, an amazing buy. Why? It was the 2020 low as well. Oh, no, it was even lower than the 2020 low. So, yeah, it's when those big companies have massive corrections based on, and that was based on earnings, or whether you're in a bear market and bad earnings, or whether it's a lawsuit of J&J, or whether it's a recession. That's when these big companies get me excited, because I know they'll come back. And ever since that, in 2 years, 3 years, on one of the biggest companies that's not that exciting, 780% on Meta, and you never have to sell that position again because you know it will continue going up. But you're probably not going to get 780% again on Meta from buying at these levels for the next 5, 10, 15 years. So that's why I don't get excited about these big companies until they have big corrections. So yeah, my thoughts on Walmart: brilliant, great company. I'm not excited to buy it. Look at Nebius, up 54% pre-market. Thank you, Oliver. Send healing to your son, James, and love you both. Yes, all thoughts are with James and his son. Can we get out the attic yet? Still no money found up here. I don't know why, but I'm hearing like the rooster crow in the background. Maybe it's roosting. I can't even hear it this morning. Why do you think non-farm job revision will do to market, good or bad? Well, it depends which way it goes. Hit me. David Hennessy, we'll cover it though. Market's opening in 15 minutes and then we've got that. So, yes, we will cover it. What do you think the non-farm job? Yeah, we've done that one. Okay. What cold storage do you use, Sensei? I use Ledger, but maybe there's better options out there now because Ledger is sometimes a bit slow. Not slow, but it's just like the battery runs out quite quickly. Sometimes it's hard to access the app. I mean, it's just this it's safe, it's good, but it's just I'm sure there's better options out there. There's no major complaints. So Seth Houston says, good morning, everyone. Sensei, welcome in, Seth. Chris Soda, I don't think anyone really knows where crypto is general is going with regulations ETFs. You can't go and buy old data. Yeah, but that's what makes it cheap, and that's how you can get in early. If we weren't into crypto, if we waited for all the regulations and waited for everyone to buy it, waited for every government to own it, and waited for every company to have it on its treasury, and waited for certainty, then you're going to miss thousands of percent of gains. What do you think about the jobs data? Predict worst one in 15 years. It's just revisions. There's no actual data. I don't know where everyone's AI is going crazy today. This is why we don't use AI to put any of our information. We actually put in the work, and AI is sort of a tool that helps you format it. I don't know who's telling you it's the worst in 15 years. It's just it's revisions. We're having revisions, which is as important, but it's not jobs data coming out and it's going to be the worst in 15 years. Done with all the haters today. Yeah, lots of Bitcoin maximalists. Quick look at... sorry, Seth Houston. I completely forgot. Quick look at Doge realistic price predictions. Yes, let's have a look. Let's have a look. Doge. USD. Realistic price predictions. Okay, so you're not looking for like the moonshots. Yeah, again, 34 cents next, but I think you will easily get there. 44. I mean, if you're looking at realistic price predictions and you don't want to go too crazy, then I'd ladder out at 44 cents, 60 cents, and 74 cents, and potentially just below $1. Like, I think all of those levels will be hit if we get that bull market we're expecting. Yeah, because above that, maybe $1.17 and stuff like that. But if you just want to secure some profits and you're not too worried, then yeah, 34 cents, 44 cents, 60 cents, and 74 cents. I think 60 cents is certainly very achievable. So I'd say 60 cents, and if you want to hold a bit more, then I'd go for just below $1. Again, not financial advice. I'm looking to get out of decent profits as soon as possible. Oh, as soon as possible, then yeah, you're looking at maybe a pop up to 34 cents on Dogecoin. But again, at the end of the day, I think all of this is going to come down in the next 3-4 months. So I don't know, maybe it's worth waiting a few more months for bigger gains, but nothing's guaranteed. So my guess is XRP will hit $4.20, $4.40 this year. Not sure if we'll go higher, but would love for it to go higher. Thank you, Gunnar. Thank you, David. Michael Saylor claimed all other altcoins will be considered securities, which is kind of ignorant if he knows Ripple lawsuit concluded XRP was in fact not a security. Yeah, there we go. Well, he has to promote the one that his company likes. Thank you. Oh, Punky Monkey, thank you for becoming a member. What about market cap multiplier? Is that not a thing? No, it's not a thing. Excited to go through, well, at least not the thing that everyone seems to be talking about online just to get clicks. Excited to go through my first altcoin season. Well, hopefully there is an altcoin season, Mr. MJK. I mean, we had a glimpse of the altcoin season. We could call it altcoin season when we predicted it back in December of 2024, when we saw Bitcoin dominance peaking out, and that's when we said, okay, we're going to get an altcoin season here, and we did. But we haven't got the final blow off top altcoin season. I don't know if you're there to experience that season, just December 2024, January of 2025. But Martyn says market cap doesn't matter if we all have catalysts in place, and if we do not get rate cuts after NDAs and other measures come to light, we could hit harder, not to mention this potential. Don't quite know what you mean by that comment. Do you think the Clarity Act will affect this bull market, this bull run more? For example, if passed higher towards $10 with institutional money coming in? Yeah, I mean, that's sort of baked in. I do expect it to pass in the next few months, or the next month. So that's sort of baked into it. Well, I don't think, if it doesn't pass, maybe we won't get the final, I don't know, maybe we'll go to $8 instead of $10. But if it passes, maybe we'll go to $12 instead of $10. I don't have a specific, the Clarity Act will have this effect. I think everyone knows the Clarity Act is going to pass to it, and that's sort of being baked into it all. But if it does pass at the time or within the altcoin season, maybe that acts as a major catalyst as well. 3 times the market cap will only be 12 trillion. That's nothing compared to what's coming, quadrillions. 3 times the market. Quadrillions. I wouldn't be betting on that for now. Price prediction for our HBAR after rate cuts. It doesn't work like that. It's not just, we already know the rate cuts are coming, so it doesn't really make a difference what the price of HBAR will be after rate cuts. 1 million job cut revision at 10 a.m. The data is coming in 36 minutes. We're looking at the market open in 2:44. Angie says, learning how to use my new Gemini app and credit card. Angie, congratulations to you. Good luck to you. Mr. K. Keefe says, man, Sensei, these pictures on the newsletter was absolutely wonderful. Thank you for you and your wife. Thank you, Mr. J. Keefe. If you guys don't have the newsletter yet, please do go and check it out. Here is the link. What do you think about Moondeng? I don't know about anything about it. Goldman says, up to negative $1 million loss. That wouldn't be great, would it? Also, Sensei, if you like big companies with big corrections, check out KDP. It dropped 20% recently, and I just sold my VU and bought KDP last night. Let's have a look at it, KDP. Yeah, I do like that strategy. KDP, let's have a look at it. What is it? Oh, Dr. Pepper. I hate the beverage though. Can I invest in something I hate the beverage? What else do they do? Do they just do Dr. Pepper? I don't even know they were trading. I didn't know they weren't owned by Coke. So what's this? Dr. Pepper. This is interesting. What else do they own? And marketing, distribution, or sales of non-alcohol beverages. It includes the following segment: refreshment, US coffees, international syrups, all that sort of stuff. So it's like a Coca-Cola company. Let's go to their website. Is this the actual Dr. Pepper drink though? Yeah, it is. Do I like any more of their brands? Oh, they own 7-Up. They own Schweppes. They own Ready to Brew. Interesting, they have all these coffees. Oh, here we go, some more brands here. Oh no, they're brand partners. It doesn't excite me too much, to be honest. I don't... What's the market cap? 37 billion. Though the chart doesn't look horrific. You're coming back to these levels down here. Yeah, it's not terrible. I would probably be more excited if we came down to... I mean, when I look at these drops, I want it to be significant drops. So I'd be looking maybe at $15 or potentially the COVID lows at $18. That's when I'd be more interested. But I'm sure this is not a terrible area either. You've got all this support around $27. So I'm happy to miss out on this. But if it goes down to $16, then I'd certainly be interested in buying it, but not yet. Time for me... Oh. Where did I go? Stephen, no. Seth, we've read your comment. Yastin says, time for me to short the S&P 500 on a funded account soon. Good luck, I wouldn't fight the trend. Jason V says, Doge ETF is apparently being launched in September the 11th. Is that true? Let me have a look. We do have a list of all of our ETFs. I'll find it for you. What's this one? Dogecoin. 18th of... What month are we in now? 18th of October, no. 18th of October. Doge is apparently being listed on 11th of September. No, not 11th of September. Definitely not the 11th of September. September is the 9th month. November, yeah, 9th month. Yeah, no, that's wrong. That's you'll probably have it in at the 18th of October, possibly. That Grayscale Dogecoin ETF trust being converted into an ETF. Yeah, 12th. Yeah, then November. Yeah, no, not this month. No ETFs this month. Are there any UK crypto platforms that have tax lots available? Mickey 6 strings, no. And the reason being is because that's not how tax is calculated here in the UK. You sort of bundle it all up and stuff like that. So it doesn't make sense to have tax lots here in the UK for crypto or stocks. Isn't Doge listed on the October ETF list? Yes, it is. What about Solana chart? CRO, let's have a quick look at Solana. Oh, we've got the market opening in a few minutes' time, so let's keep an eye on that. Somehow this data is off slightly, but we'll keep it on. How much for a full review of a coin? Zubar Patel. Well, it depends. If you want a full deep dive in the newsletter, you can do YouTube will mount. Oh, we've just got a comment from Martyn. I'll cover that in a second. It depends. Zubar Patel, we can do a chart request for $5 if you want me to have a look at... Oh, fundamentals. Yeah, that takes a lot longer. That's like a deep dive piece in the newsletter. I think someone did $80 last time for a deep dive in the newsletter. Again, I would just recommend you do your own research. But if you want me to spend hours researching it and put it in the newsletter as a deep dive story, you can do an $80 super chat, or just sign up to a newsletter if you want. If you haven't signed up to a newsletter yet and you want to become an annual member, there is a newsletter link, and I'll do it that way as well. Let me go into the markets because they are opening now. Let's get Bloomberg up and ready. Markets opening very, very soon. So let me just get this on. And then I'll read Martyn's comment because he's just said something about a play button and that gets me excited. Let's go over here. Here we go. Market is opening in any second now. Any second now. What is the time as we speak? It is. We've got 15 seconds until the market opens. This is the opening bell, then we get the data, and then we can see XRP move as well. 10 seconds until market open.
Yesterday because I was looking at Danny's futures.
Oh, it's all my fault, eh?
Well, no, I'm just saying. So at that time, futures were at 65.11. We actually closed below 6,500 yesterday. You can see right now futures are back up only 3,100.
Markets opened
to 65.07. So we'll see what the cash trade settles out at. We need to get over 65.02 for an all-time high. You hear the New York Stock Exchange closing bell. You see, I guess, members of the board or management at Train Technologies. This company is absolutely crushing it. They're only up like 12 or 13% this year, but they're up like 278% over the past 5 years. So very happy faces there. Down at the down at the NASDAQ market site, you do see CNBC, members of the Squawk Box team. There's Andrew Ross Sorkin, there's Becky Quick, there's Joe Kernan.
I really don't care who's at these places unless they're IPOing. Let's just have a quick look at the markets. Gold is continuing its push up as we speak. We'll go on to XRP in a second, but gold is pushing up as we speak. Let's go to the S&P 500. How did that actually open? The S&P 500 is now up on the day. Let's go to VU. VU is also... let me just make sure that's all good. Yeah, VU is now up on the day, up 0.06% on the day. So that is good. Okay, I will do that, Martyn. Thank you. What else are we looking at? XRP USD. XRP is just selling off slightly now that the markets are open. I'm just going to turn this off on Bloomberg just because we don't need it. Here we go. Let me go back to Bloomberg.
First, kind of to approve the deal, and that zeroes out the premium. It's pretty complicated. I highly recommend you check out this.
Nope, they're doing advertisement. Even Bloomberg loves to advertise things. That's why we don't really want to tune into them too much unless they're getting data releases quicker than us, which is sometimes with the PPI and CPI. We want to see what the analysts say. So that's where we're going to be going in 26 minutes time. But nothing major happening in the stock market. What is opening up and what is down? Alibaba is up 3 points. Let's just go to the daily candle. Alibaba, the Chinese manufacturing company, is up 3.3%. Remember, we were looking at buying this around the $70 mark. Now it's doubled. We've doubled our money on that. Circle is up today. Wow, look at that. How many times did I say this is ridiculous valuation? How many times did I say $200 plus, $300, ridiculous on Circle? I'd be saying sell, 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 sell. And now look at this. It's just an absolute downtrend. Let's have a look at Bullish. Bullish, remember this is the one where we looked at the IPO. It's up 3.16% this morning. It is certainly up today, along with Circle, but it's still, oh, look at this, big candle right now on Bullish as we speak, coming up to $51 now. That was a big candle just on open. It was up 3% with a matter of minutes. So Bullish, something is going on there, and it's up today. But remember, since the IPO, it has been coming down. I said it's probably if you don't mind getting the restrictions, it's not a bad idea to be selling. Again, not advice, but you've made so much money on the day of the open, you might consider selling. But again, I don't think this is going to come down to those IPO prices. So if you did get in at an IPO price, I think you're still in a good position. But yeah, it is now up 4% on the day. So Bullish is really moving right now as well. What else do we have? Coinbase is up 1.6%. We've got Palantir up 1.8%. Let's refresh this. Things are moving. We've got DXYZ, the company that holds SpaceX. I think maybe they still do, is up 1.4% with the SpaceX news today. We've got EVTL, Vertical Aerospace. Press news came straight to Vaz this morning. It's in the newsletter. We'll cover it, and I'm sure Vaz will cover it later on today. He got a message straight directly from his contacts. And that news is pushing Vertical Aerospace up. It could be pushing it into a breakout. It is the chart of the day today in the newsletter as well. Joby is up 1.2%. What is down today? We've got Etsy down 4%. It's not really too attractive at the moment to me anyway. Rocket Lab down 1.5%. Again, that hit all our targets. Again, it's not as attractive to me anymore like it was when we saw the breakout $4. Tilray, again, it's held $1. That was good for it to stay listed, but since it's hits resistance and is coming back down, that was attractive back at 43 cents when we saw that breakout. But not anymore. Soundhound, again, inverse head and shoulders at $8.72. That's been pushed up since. I would expect $17 next on Soundhound. Okay, so that's most of the markets. Let me go into those pinned messages. I'm muted. How was I muted? Oops. Anyway, I'll say it again. You lost your voice. I have no idea how I got muted there. Let me move that up so I can keep an eye on it. What I was saying is we've got a pinned message from Martyn. It's the YouTube wall-mounted silver play button, silver metal letter, and silver desktop play button has been shipped and it's on the way to the studio for an unboxing special live stream. Don't miss it. So we've got a special show. Again, thank you to all the Lucases that helped us get to 100,000. It's a part of the celebration. The final part of the celebration is this unboxing. So keep an eye on the channel and don't miss the unboxing special live with Martyn. That's all I was saying. I'm very excited. I have no idea what the silver metal letter is and the silver desktop play button, but that's why I'm going to also be tuning in to see what all of this is. But yeah, big congratulations to Martyn. This is part of the 100,000 celebration, and this is now going to be shipped and on the way to the studio. Very, very exciting stuff. Thank you, Martyn, for keeping us updated on that. And I always love seeing this little tick next to Martyn's name. Remember, that means that we're a verified channel. YouTube trust us. Not many channels have that tick at all. Okay, let me just continue going through your comments because we've got data coming in 21 minutes. I want to cover the XRP breakout and see how that goes throughout the day. I also want to bring you the Klarna IPO news as well. Let's just have a quick look at XRP. It's just waiting to decide which way it will go. And I promise you it will decide in 20 minutes time with that data revision probably. Bullish, let's have another look at Bullish. The Wow, look at this. Bullish is really off. Look at this. Wow, 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 wow. Bullish is up 5.6% as soon as that market opened. I don't know if there's any news behind this. Stablecoin issue, Figure Technologies set to upsize the IPO demand for crypto. Okay, so we've got Figure Technology, another blockchain-enabled IPO that we're covering, have upscaled it, so they're upping their price. Why are they upping their price? Look at this. This is Bullish. The reason they're upping their price is because they've got too much demand, so maybe that's playing into Bullish as well. The demand for these crypto companies are quite high, and the IPOs are there. So look at that on Bullish, up 5.74% today, and so is, that's why we got that move on Circle. If you look at Circle as well, Circle was up a significant amount, so it's something affecting all these crypto companies. Let's have a look at Coca-Cola as well. Look at this, Coca-Cola up 0.52%, and the S&P 500 is also up 0.14%. Remember, Martyn switched his Coca-Cola, his some of his S&P to Coca-Cola. He was expecting the S&P 500 only to have another 5% left in it, and Coca-Cola to have potentially, maybe, what was it, 18% left in it as well. So he switched over his S&P 500 to Coca-Cola. So far, it looks like the better trade. Let me go back to your comments and get into the video on Klarna. I don't have too much time, so I'm going to do that right now. CLA, it's in the newsletter, so here we go. Okay, let's do this. We've got an IPO coming up tomorrow. I'm going to make this into a video, so I won't be responding to any comments while I'm making this video, but I'll be back to you guys as soon as this video is done. And remember, it's definitely worth staying tuned because we've got an IPO tomorrow. And again, all these IPOs recently have had massive gains on the day and the following days. Some of them are still up hundreds of percent. Okay, let's do this. Thank you, Martyn. I've just seen another comment from Martyn. We have another milestone to celebrate. Sensei's newsletter has been given a verification tick from the newsletter world. It means authentic and genuine. Big deal. Yes, thank you for mentioning that, Martyn. Yeah, it is actually quite incredible. Let me see if I can show you what I mean. If I click this over here, this should bring me... Yeah, look at this. If I bring this up, oh, we don't. That was the channel we were looking at earlier, the person who was fudding XRP. Anyway, let me show you this. So thank you, Martyn, for mentioning that. If you look at the newsletter now, we do have a verification tick as well. You go onto the publication and you can see we've got a verification tick. Literally 99% of the newsletters on Substack don't have that tick, but now we do. It shows, again, verification, authentic and genuine. They like our news. They trust our news. We've got the subscribers as well to prove it. So we've just got the verification tick on Substack. Again, they picked us out and gave it to us. So it's incredible stuff. Very excited. Very excited about how the newsletter is going. So thank you, everyone, for supporting the newsletter journey. And I hope you appreciate the daily posts every single day on the market. And now we're actually going to read from the newsletter for the deeper dive, which is the IPO. If you want to get the newsletter every single day, the link is in the description. So here we go. Get ready, deeper dive. Let's do it as a video. Here we go. Let me get rid of something strange going on there with my camera. Don't know why that's happening. What's going on? I don't understand. That was weird. Okay. Let me just check this. Let's do the video like that. This one should be here. I'm just going to do a video on Klarna and I'll get rid of the data just for a second. We'll come back straight to that data as soon as that ends. So let me move that countdown, remove this header as well. Remove this as well. Oh, it's because of that. Okay. Okay, here we go. I'm going to do a video on Klarna. That's what I'm just setting up for, so bear with me. Let me go into preferences. Here we go. And record. Breaking news on Martyn Lucas Investor. We are looking at Klarna's IPO, what retail investors should and need to know. Remember, they're IPOing tomorrow, and if maybe you're watching it on the day of the IPO, so do check our channel because we're going to be covering this IPO live as it happens. So make sure you're subscribed and you hit the like button. But everything you need to know before the IPO hits the market, I'm going to be telling you all the information about this IPO. Remember, this is quite a big company that's IPOing. They obviously haven't IPO'd before, but they have raised money before, so we do have a good idea about the valuations, the price, how to buy it, how to get involved, all the risks, all the rewards, and if I'm going to be buying it or not. Again, nothing I say during this video is financial advice. This is my thoughts and opinions only. Please do not buy or sell based off anything I say. I am only reporting the news. So, it is going to be trading as ticker symbol KLAR, and what retail investors need to know. So what is Klarna? Klarna is finally set to go public tomorrow. It's been long overdue, I think. It's been quite a big company. September the 10th on the New York Stock Exchange under ticker KLAR. Remember, it's set to go public tomorrow. That could change last minute, but we are very confident it's going live tomorrow. The company is offering 34.3 million shares at an expected price range of $35 to $37, which values the deal at roughly 1.46 billion. At the top of the range, Klarna market value would be around 14 billion. So this is going to IPO at a fairly decent price in terms of market cap. It's going to be part of the big boys with a $14 billion market cap. That doesn't mean you're not going to be able to make some gains on it. I think it's going to attract a lot of institutional investors, and it already has, because the IPO is led by Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, and Morgan Stanley. A typical 15% overwhelmment option known as a green shoe could push the final proceeds higher if investor demand proves strong. So what is Klarna? What's the financial snapshot? Am I buying it? Am I not? We'll come into all of that. If you are enjoying this, make sure you do hit the like button, and make sure you are subscribed, because we're going to be covering the IPO live as it happens. So whether you're going to get your shares or not through Robinhood or whatever means, remember, we do have links down below on signing up to Robinhood and other exchanges to see if you can get your IPO, but you will be waiting, and we'll be waiting with you live on the show. So do check us out. Make sure you subscribe so you see us when this IPO goes live. So what does Klarna do? Klarna is one of the pioneers in buy now, pay later, BNPL. It lets shoppers split purchases into installments, often interest-free, while merchants pay Klarna a small fee for bringing in the sale. The company also offers shopping apps, payment solutions, and merchant services, building in a broader financial super app. We've all seen their logos all over the place. Am I a fan of companies like this? Morally, no. Do I invest personally in companies like this? No. But is there money to be made? I'm sure there is. This is basically a company that makes money when they put people in debt. Nothing wrong with, there's a few things wrong with it, but in terms of making money as an investor, it's not a new idea. It's just the buy now, pay later aspect. They are the leaders of this sector. So the business has a global reach. Klarna says it services 111 million active users and partners with around 790,000 merchants across 26 countries. Big retail partners include Walmart, a win that shifted away from rival Affirm. So you might have heard of Affirm if you know about Klarna. Affirm has been trading on the stock market, but it hasn't been doing too well, if I remember correctly. If we go to their chart at the moment, they are coming back, but remember that IPO came down, went all the way up, had a bear market, and they are coming back. So that this chart is not looking bearish for Affirm. higher lows, higher highs. So that does show that the sentiment within this range, even though a firm is potentially a smaller company than Klarna, their market cap is 27 million, and Klarna might be IPOing with a market cap of 14 billion. So I think Klarna is probably a better company than a firm, and it might IPO at a lower price. So there certainly is room to grow for Klarna, maybe even on that day, potentially 100% gain on IPO prices on the day. So the business has a real global reach. We know about that. What's their financial snapshot? Revenue. Klarna generated about 823 million in Q2 of 2025, with a full year revenue running around 3 billion. So they're not short on cash. There you go. Profitability. After posting a small net profit in 2024, about 21 million, Klarna swung back to a $53 million loss last quarter. Rising credit costs and stock-based compensation weighed on results. Credit losses. Defaults remain a risk. Klarna's credit loss rate was about 0.56% of gross merchant value. Through management says delinquency rates are trending lower. The growth. Klarna processed 571 billion or $55 billion in purchases in the first half of 2025, up 17% year over year. Its take rate, the cut is it keeps on the transactions, has also improved. So how does it stack up against rivals? Investors will naturally compare Klarna to a firm. A firm trades about an 8.8% sales, while Klarna is coming public closer to 4 to 5x sales. That discount could make Klarna appealing if it can prove it's on a sustainable path to profitability. And that's what we just spoke about. It does look like Klarna is the better value company if you look at the sales data. But Klarna heavily is reliant on buy now, pay later. It also faces the same challenges: rising borrowing costs, credit risk if consumers pull back, and tough competition from Affirm, PayPal, and Block's Afterpay. There's also the issue about regulation, the regulatory cloud. Two big rule changes are coming that retail investors should know about. In the US, Consumer Financial Protection Bureau has ruled that buy now, pay later firms must follow similar rules to credit card companies, things like clear statements, refund policies, and dispute handling. In the UK, the FCA, the Financial Conduct Authority, is preparing to bring buy now, pay later fully under regulation by 2026 with stricter affordability checks and oversight. These rules can add compliance costs, but also strengthen Klarna's credibility as one of the largest, best capitalized buy now, pay later firms. So what are the analysts saying? Goldman Sachs highlighted Klarna as a clear standout of the buy now, pay later sector, noting its global scale and improving unit economics. Remember, this is all in the newsletter. First link in the description. Go and check it out. This story, you can go and read it all again and look at all the numbers and get all your news every single day into your inbox. That's the 5 top things you need to know every day: the market snapshot, what's going on in the day, what is the chart of the day, all of that directly in your inbox. First link in the description. Go and check it out. JP Morgan has also said demand is strong enough that the IPO is likely to price at the top of the range, suggesting solid institutional interest. Some analysts, however, warn Klarna's swing back to losses in Q2 shows the model is still fragile and could struggle in weaker consumer environments. So this is what you need to watch on day one. What is the final price that Klarna is being offered at? If Klarna prices at $37 or higher, demand is strong. Remember, they can choose what price they set it at. If it's at $37, that means there is lots of demand. If it's at $34, there wasn't as much demand. So keep an eye on what the final price is going to be for the IPO. Trading versus the issued price. Does the stock hold above $37 once it starts trading? We need to see how does it open. It'll probably open above $37. In my opinion, the price is going to be $37 for the IPO, and in my opinion, I think it will open above $37. Peer reaction. Affirm and PayPal often move in sympathy with buy now, pay later headlines. Lockups, insider selling after the first 6 months can create volatility. I mean, if we look at the charts right now, Affirm is down slightly on the day. What's PayPal doing? PayPal is also down slightly on the day. So going into tomorrow, it's not too much to say. I mean, we're not pumping like crazy, we're not dumping like crazy, so I don't think that will have an effect on it at this point in time. But once it IPOs, you can expect PayPal and Affirm to move with it. Lockups, insider selling after the first 6 months can create extra volatility. So Klarna has 2 things retail investors should respect: scale and brand brand recognition, but it also comes with classic IPO cocktail of regulatory uncertainty and recent losses and tough competition. Unlike many tech IPOs, Klarna is not a growth story, it's a credit business at heart. If the IPO holds up above the pricing range in the first week, that could be a sign that institutional investors believe Klarna can manage the credit cycle and keep growing. But remember, buy now, pay later is still an untested model in a downturn. For now, Klarna looks like a discounted entry point compared to Affirm, but investors should keep a close eye on how it performs in the earnings report as a public company. In my opinion, again, not financial advice, if I was buying this, I wouldn't want to be holding this long term just because we don't know how, as I've just said here, we don't know how buy now, pay later will do in a downturn in the credit market. It's a fairly new thing over the last 5-6 years, and we don't know much about it. There's also more regulatory backlash coming to it, and people say it should be regulated like credit cards, and it should be, and people should have affordability tests, and they should do. Also, interest rates coming down might affect them as well. So if I was buying this, I'll buy it just so I can make money on the day of the IPO, because I think there will be a lot of interest. Holding it long term, I would have to do more research, but it does interest me, and we will be covering it live. So let me know your thoughts about Klarna down in the comment section below. Remember what Affirm did when it IPO'd. It did IPO at a time where the markets were starting to it was actually a good time, 2021. It came down, it had its peak at $180, and then it capitulated in the bear market. But it did go up on launch day, and I'm sure its IPO price was lower than $88, but it did go up about 65% since the price that it started trading on the stock market, and I'm sure Affirm IPO'd at a lower price than that. So there is certainly money to be made in the first day or two, in my opinion. Again, not financial advice. Go and check out the newsletter. There will be a link for the newsletter literally here, and a link to something else you should watch over here. Anyway, go check them out. Until next time, take care of yourselves and each other. Bye-bye. Let me go over here. Oh, I forgot to end the recording. That's now ended. Perfect. So that was Affirm. We do have a few more news stories, and also data is coming out in 5 minutes. So let me put that back on the screen, because we do have data coming out very soon. It is the revisions of the job data, which is sort of as important as jobs data, because if the jobs data is wrong, then we need to know about it, and we will find out about it. So here we go. Let me bring the countdown live on the screen. Here we go. Let me put that up there. Data. Here we go. Okay. Let's have a quick look at the market. If anything moved in that time, XRP. All we want to see with XRP is for it to hold $3 today and tomorrow and the day after, and then we can look at all-time highs, or potentially getting back to those highs in the next few weeks. There we go. Okay, let me go to Bloomberg, getting ready for that data coming out shortly. No, nothing yet. Let me go to your comments. So last couple of days, this is from Martyn, last couple of days to get it. Coca-Cola for this quarter dividend allows a few days to clear and settle trades. I bought 130,000 of Coca-Cola yesterday, oversold with 18% upside, and defensive is now good, not financial advice. There it is. You've got a few days to get in for that dividend. Martyn bought yesterday. He put his money where his mouth is. It was oversold, and he's looking at potentially 18% upside this year if he has to hold on to it. So, and defensive is good for now. So there you go. Top tip from Martyn again. It's not financial advice, but that is what he's doing, and he's sharing it with you. So do what you want with that bit of information. We are 2 minutes away from data. Please do make sure you hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't done so before. Let me see if I can I don't think I have time to change the title, do I? XRP jobs data live. Let's do that. I'll just put that in the title because we've got jobs data coming out any second now in 1 minute's time. So let's get prepared for that over here. We've got the economic calendar here. Get ready for some volatility in the next couple minutes with the jobs data. Gold. Yes, we're loving what gold's doing. What's gold doing right now? Yeah, it's pumping now, isn't it? Look at that. I love it. I'd never invest in Klarna. People aren't paying back debt these days. There we go. You're welcome. Consider subscribing if you like what you hear. Lots of information. Martyn says XRP is aiming for debt, but by $10 in around 10 days. I trust him so far. He's been right in everything I've seen. $10 in 10 days is what Martyn's been saying. I don't. Maybe he has, maybe he hasn't. I don't. I'm sure XRP can hit $10 in 10 days, but I'm not sure if it's from today. Anyway, I wouldn't hold my breath for it, but you have to be prepared for it. So don't just listen to what Martyn says and say that's 100% going to happen. I don't think Martyn would like you to think like that. Anyway, here we go into the jobs data. Let's get ready. Let me fast forward this. What is the data going to be?
U.S. jobs numbers are released. Bloomberg has the report under surveillance with crucial data.
Any second now, we're going to get that jobs data. Get ready for the market to react as well. 1 second. It's refreshing as we speak. Non-farm payroll benchmark revision is refreshing as we speak. Bloomberg aren't on it yet. How is the market reacting? S&P 500. Oh, here we go. It's getting volatile. Something's definitely come out. No, not yet. Any second now. What's Bloomberg saying? Breaking news.
Through predicted, it didn't come in, but there is the first print of this preliminary number, and it is toward what we heard from Dr. Englander Scarlett. I'm going to suggest a negative 911 is a wow statistic.
Yeah, it definitely raises eyebrows, definitely at the far end of what economists were looking for. And you're looking at moves in the Treasury market. The 10-year yield has now gone negative. It was slightly higher, now lower at 4.0359%. The 2-year yield also gone negative. I mean, you look at it in terms of net change, it's little change, but they were higher.
Gold over $3,700.
That too.
I know it's tangential, folks. Good morning, Dennis Gartman, James Steele at HSBC. To see gold explode up $33.
911,000 subtraction.
A little bit of an equity bid, the VIX 15.37. Let's go through the interest rate complex, Scarlett, before we go to IRA Jersey. I guess what I'm really looking at is the emotion here. Do we get a 10-year yield below 4%?
Well,
I don't see it yet.
No, not yet. It's flat at 4.0379% because we like to go out several decimal points.
Curve flattening here, and of course the 10-year real yield comes in really at the bottom end of the recent range, 1.67% on the inflation adjusted, the residual 10-year real yield. We begin strong in this special edition of Bloomberg Surveillance with Ira Jersey of Bloomberg Intelligence. Ira, I guess we see an economic statistic, 300,000 or so off the mark. What does it mean for a bond market to see our labor so beleaguered?
Well, I think these revisions are very hard to forecast. I mean, by definition, because they cover such a long period of time, but the fact that we had even slower employment growth than we thought. And had forecasted, clearly the market took that as bad for the economy, and that's the reason why you saw bond yields go from up a little bit in the front end to flat to maybe a little bit lower in the front end. Importantly, I think here it just shows that the Federal Reserve has to take this into consideration when they deliberate next week what to do with interest rates, and it just solidifies even more that they're going to cut next week. And I suspect that it might actually give some of the people who are on the fence about the timing of cuts to not only cut in September, but also do a string of cuts and cut again in October, December, and January as well.
To your point about how it's very difficult to forecast this, in the survey of economists that Bloomberg has compiled, the lowest estimate for this revision was 900,000, and the actual number reported was 911,000 reduction in the number of jobs over the 12 months to March 2025. So we had expected a negative revision, perhaps not this sizable. How much of this was totally baked in to the point where a 50 basis point rate cut is something that is now becoming more of the default scenario?
Yeah, well, I don't think that the Fed's going to go 50, and the market's not fully priced for that, not even 50% priced for a 50 basis point rate cut. At least it wasn't when I walked in here. I haven't checked in the last 2 minutes, but I doubt that it's really changed. And one of the big reasons for that is there still is this inflation overhang, right? The fear about tariffs maybe still adding to some inflation. We haven't seen all of it. You've heard a lot of Fed speakers talk about the net effect of tariffs hasn't yet been seen. So I think the Federal Reserve wants to be cautious, right? And
I'll give you my thoughts in a second.
Don't have to go at every meeting. I think that's what this takes off the table, that unless you see a insanely low CPI print and tomorrow's PPI winds up being very low as well, at least below consensus, then the Federal Reserve probably just does their 25, then they got, right? And it's that guidance, I think, that will ultimately move the bond market. And does that guidance say, hey, we're going to cut 150, 125, 50 basis points maybe? That's where the updated dot plot's going to matter, as well as their general summary of economic projections.
In terms of the reaction in markets, I mentioned how the 2-year yield, the 10-year yield went negative briefly, but they're back up again, and we're now seeing the 2-year yield higher by 1.8 basis points, 10-year yield 4.06% up higher by 2.2 basis points. What do you see in terms of the direction of yields? Because a lot of people were saying that this revision...
Okay, well, it's interesting. Obviously, it's not the best news in terms of for the market, but it does basically mean, it's more revisions than we were expecting, more jobs lost than we were expecting, but not to a massive extent. It just means that now we are very, with the PPI and CPI tomorrow, even if it's slightly higher than we're expecting with inflation, it does still look like we'll get rate cuts tomorrow. Remember, tomorrow we've got PPI, which we're expecting at 0.3 and 3.3. If that's a bit higher, we're still expecting rate cuts. The next day we've got CPI. If that's a bit higher, we're still going to expect rate cuts, because now what the market's doing is pricing in potentially 50 basis point rate cuts as well. And that data today is bringing that potentially a bit more likely as well. So keep an eye on all of this. It's nothing groundbreaking. It's not going to crash the markets, and it's not going to really pump the markets too much. The markets will decide which way they want to go. The markets like it because it might be a 50 basis point cut. The markets might not like it because it's bad for the economy as a whole, but it's not terrible for the economy. So I don't think this is going to bring the markets down that much. Yes, XRP came down with the news, obviously, because initially you look at it and you go, that's bad for the markets. But then you look at it and you go, it's not awful as long as rates come down. So we'll see how the market prices that in for the rest of the day. We will have, I think, Martyn will be back with the closing bell show. We're going to put out the IPO video, but there's not too much to report from that. Essentially, more jobs revision than we wanted, but it just means there could be a 50 basis point rate cut. And even if the data is bad tomorrow for inflation, we can still expect a rate cut. Again, not the best news for the economy, but it's not recession territory, but by the slightest. Coca-Cola, Martyn wants to clear up that XRP can get to $10 in 10 days. Yes, it's very doable, but I do want to be clear that it's not certain, just highly possible. No one knows. I'm not buying the pump. I'm already in. That's Martyn's thoughts. My thoughts are we won't hit $10 in 10 days from today, just because of, I think $10 would put XRP potentially very close to Bitcoin's market cap, or am I wrong in saying that? I might be wrong in saying that. I think potentially in October, November, in altcoin season, we will see $10 very quick. So we might be sat at $3, $4, and then we get $10 within 10 days. So I agree with Martyn on that. I just don't think we'll be at $10 in 10 days from today. Again, Martyn's also saying he's not certain on that either. Coca-Cola best trade this year. Did you follow me on this? It's saying my portfolio and making money now. Don't dream what you want it to be. Face the numbers and the real information. Thank you, Martyn, for giving us all this information. I'm going to end the show now. We're going to go and see if there is Vaz's show set up for later. Let me just have a quick look at the upcoming live streams today. Yeah, it's again, it's going to be coming out later. We just don't have it yet. So I'm going to go to the extra channel straight after this. Thank you everyone for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the extended show today as well, covering the data and the stock market open. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Make sure all you do is subscribe and hit the like button so you can catch us on the next stream, because this week is going to be volatile. We've got so many IPOs. We've got the most important inflation data, CPI and PPI, and we've also got rate cuts next week. And is it going to be 50 basis points or 25 basis points? We don't know. We'll find out. I assume 25 basis points. Please do also check out the newsletter if you're watching live. As this ends, click on that link and sign up to newsletter. So thank you everyone for tuning in. Time to end the show. Let's put on the ending music and end the show. Do you own a rooster? Yes, I do. I hope you feel better, Sensei, and thanks for supporting the channel whilst under the weather. No worries at all, Blue Bus Driver. I'd never invest in Klarna. People aren't paying back their debts. Sensei, the top news reporter. Only the cool kids know who he is. Sensei, top news reporter. I love it. Who is Sensei? Don't worry, Tim David. Martyn saying Sensei, top news reporter. I love it. Thank you very much. Yes, this tick is amazing. We both got a tick. I love it. Congrats, Sensei. Thank you very much. I love how humble Sensei is. Thank you, Blue Bus Driver. Congratulations to our awesome Sensei. Thank you, Angie G. Angie, I'm going to send you a link today on X because you're not going to get your merch before the event. The event is tomorrow for everyone who got the merch. So I'm going to send you a link and you can access it that way. It's basically the QR code that would have been on the merch. You're still going to get your merch, but because it's not going to arrive in time, this is going to be your way of entering the event. And everyone else who's got the merch, scan those QR codes on the merch, and I look forward to seeing you all. Well, we all look forward to. I won't mention too much, but just make sure you scan that QR code. Only for the people that have got the 10 out of 10 merch. And Zach Zay, I'm going to send you the link as well. Kimberly, I'm going to send you the link as well because you got the auction one. Brilliant, guys. Thank you. Do trade of the day. If you want to put in your... We're not at the end of the day, though. I don't know if we can do it yet. Okay, Sensei, I'll look. No worries. I'll send it to you on X, Angie, because I know that's where we verified our communication. Until next time, everyone. Let me wait for the bit of the song. Oh, here we go. XRP is coming back now. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Morning forecast show, opening bell show. We'll be back tomorrow. But until next time, take care of yourselves and each other. Bye-bye.